welcome to the debut season of Wellness Insider. I am Tiara Hadi, hosting your first episode today on 3 things your fitness trainer did not tell you. I have with me today Yong. Would you like to introduce yourself and say hi to everyone?
Yes, hi, I'm Yong. I'm an investor and a business owner specializing in the fitness industry. Since 2013, I have co-founded 4 businesses, and today I currently am a co-founder and the MD of Body Tree GST, which is a gymnastic strength training studio, the first of its kind in Singapore.
That's very interesting. So tell me actually what inspired you or motivated you to get into this industry?
It's very much about physical health. I suffered some joint problems when I was in the corporate world. It was due to accumulation of many hours and long hours at the computer.
This is a working woman, right?
I still am, although it's out of the corporate world.
Yeah.
And what happens is I developed, especially on the right shoulder, very chronic pains, and it lasted for like 10 years, on and off. And although I had therapies, both Eastern and Western, but it did not go away. Yeah, the problem was still there. So it came to a time where it really seriously affected how I feel about my life, about what I've accomplished. And so what motivates me very much is to want to change the way people feel about their life, especially when they become older. You know, aging is inevitable, but it doesn't have to be painful.
I completely agree. So actually I hear that you're one of the producers for Wellness Insiders. So would you like to share with us more about this season and what you hope to gain out of it?
So the first season, as physical health is my pet subject, we're going to share more knowledge and advice in the area of joint health and mobility. I believe that mobility is who we are as a human being. We are born with movements, the capability to move. And what I've seen that although there are a lot of people, even in Singapore, they are getting more active, that means they're exercising, yet there is still a growing trend in people having joint problems.
Of course.
So whether it is in the neck, their shoulders, lower back, or the knees. The knees.
Yeah, it's a big, I think, like arthritis and gout as well in Singapore. It's a big thing.
So then the questions that I normally hear will be, why do we have them? That means people don't understand. And the second is, how can I do to avoid them? And the third is, if I do have these problems, how do I address them? So in this season, I have put together a list of guest speakers who are medical and movement specialists to share information advice in these 3 areas.
Well, that's wonderful. So what actually got you interested or more into learning about joint health or sharing with people about this?
I think it was...
Is it like from personal experience or...
It's really personal experience, and earlier I mentioned that I suffered pain for 10 years, and I didn't know the reason why.
Exactly.
And as I delved more into it, I came to understand the importance of joint mobility. That means your joint must be able to move very well. And the reason I have this chronic shoulder problem, because when we spend many long hours at the computer, so your posture or my posture.
Yeah, because you're always slouched, like that.
Yeah, you're hunched. So you're hunched like this for many hours. And you can imagine is doing it for many years.
Yes.
So this shoulder joint, like most of the time, it becomes underused. You're not moving it through its full range of motion, and it leads to a faster wear and tear.
Okay.
So when it leads to a faster wear and tear, before you even reach the age of 70, 80, it starts to break down.
Yeah, exactly. So has your shoulders recovered fully from this?
It's unfortunately my injury has such that it has affected the what we call the soft tissues,
Yeah.
which is not just the muscles. So it's going to take me a lot longer. It's like so many years of abuse and neglect. So although I was very fortunate to discover Pilates, and I've used it to help rehabilitate the shoulder, it has become a lot better. But if you can see from this side here, my shoulder is still a little bit chronically rounded forward.
So do you think it will be resolved in time, or do you think it's just going to be?
Yeah, patience, it will become better. At the same time, I'm also fighting with aging. All right, so
it's a nasty thing that comes up, creeps up on you.
Yeah, so however, recently I've been doing gymnastic strength training, and I find it has been very useful to help me manage the mobility of this. The problem with problems with the joint is that when you start to have pain or you start to not use it, you actually want to use it even less.
Yeah.
And
that's when
the joint actually stays healthy with movement.
That's when it starts to deteriorate.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I completely understand. So this actually translates it all into your book, Born to Move.
Yes. As I said, through the years of experiencing the pain, and then ultimately when I became a Pilates teacher, and then learned a lot more about the human body and realized what I could do differently to help manage my joint problems. Then I said to myself, should I be sharing this information to people who are a lot more younger than I am?
Yeah.
Right. Let them,
because they want to do the prevention. Exactly.
Correct. So they're addressing how can I avoid that kind of problem. So I came up with this book, which is Born to Move, and that's why I stayed here. The 5 steps to achieve mobility, fitness, and say goodbye to aches and pains.
That's such a good tagline. But so we can actually get one copy from online, borntomove.sg.
Yes,
right?
it's available on Amazon.com, or you can go to any of the bookstores here in Singapore.
Okay.
And you can get a copy. Or if anyone wants to contact me later on.
Yes. We will leave her contact information for any questions you might have. And as well, so there was a really nice tagline for this episode of 3 things your fitness trainer did not tell you. Do you want to tell us the secret that they're not telling us? We're all interested in hearing this.
The thing that most of us see is usually also being misled, if I may call it that way, by the media. You know, like every day we are bombarded with these images of men and women with really
big muscles
and the six-pack
six-packs. I know, everyone. It's a trend now not to look skinny. It's to be fit and look like.
And then the shiny skin. So what these pictures are telling you 3 things. One is anybody can do it. And second is build muscles to look good and fit. And third is no pain, no gain.
Yes. So would you like to elaborate more on anyone can do it? You know, because everyone thinks, it seems so hard.
Yeah. So those pictures, so when I talk about those pictures, they show everybody looks so good. So it gives the impression that anybody can do it. And from my experience, this anybody can do it is pretty dangerous. In the sense, like, if I take example, if you
they're doing it wrong, or?
It's like not doing the appropriate program, the program that is meant.
So they're doing it for like the sake of doing it?
Yes.
To get the aesthetic achievement?
Or like say someone who leads a sedentary lifestyle, has been spending too many hours sitting, and all of a sudden they say, I want to go and do marathons because everybody is participating. You know, like Singapore marathons.
Following the trend.
Yes, marathons is very popular, isn't it?
I know. There's always a race. I saw one downstairs.
Yes, it's like down. Every weekend there is a race.
I know.
So then we say, I can run. So they translate that I can run, that they can actually do it properly. However, they may not realize that if you have not been used to running, your body is not prepared for it. Your joints are not prepared. That's putting yourself into a high risk, and which is why the knee injuries or knee problems is becoming quite prevalent because of this running.
It's because of the stress that you put on the knee joints.
Yes,
exactly.
and it's
when
actually,
you're not prepared.
Yeah, it's just lack of conditioning. So if our muscles and our joints are not running properly, or when you run, you are not moving it well, that's when you get early wear and tear. On the other hand, also with regards to that, your fitness trainers may be telling you you have to prepare, you have to condition yourself before you start running. But most adults, we live in a society of instant gratification.
Yes, of course. I would know all about that.
We put on our pair of shoes, newest
and then
pair, and then off you
yeah.
run because we can do it.
Exactly.
So who wants to spend time conditioning if they
Exactly.
they can?
Most people even skip the warm-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
And the cool downs, which
Yeah.
is important for like muscles and your joints.
Yeah, that's
right? Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly. So tell us more about the aesthetics of it, you know, just being on the outside. Do you think it's wrong to just do it for
Aesthetics.
Yeah, aesthetics.
I don't think it's wrong because I think every one of us wants to look good.
Of course.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the challenge is not knowing, and this is where sometimes people or your trainers or even you see these advertisements or promotion, they don't tell you is that building muscles alone for strength or just to look good is actually detrimental to your joint health, your joint mobility. It's because when you overly focus on building muscles, your muscles become very strong, bulky, but it actually restricts your joint.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I like to say this, I see guys who are very fit and look strong,
I know.
but they are tight like a tin can.
They can't move. When you put them in a yoga class, they can't reach the bottom of their. I know. So
That's the thing, and we have to be aware that looking good doesn't mean that your joints have to be tight. You just take example, you look at the current Olympics with the gymnast.
yes,
They really look great, isn't it?
of course.
Yeah.
Have you
And-
seen their bodies? Or?
Yeah, they look great. Yet they're very strong and they're very mobile for them to do the skills that they are doing. So it is achievable, both the strength, the mobility, and the aesthetics, the good looks. But we just have to be smart about our training.
That's really cool. So, no pain, no gain. What does that mean? Do you want to explain more about that?
This is a phrase that when I started exercising many years ago, I used to hear that very often. And I think sometimes you still do hear that.
People usually think, you need to go really strong in the gym. If not, you're not going to get the results that you see.
Yeah, so exercising is hard, you
Yes.
sweat, it's hard work and you get sore muscles after the workout and sometimes you get cramps. So these are inevitable, you want to be strong. However, is this continuing to train when you have discomfort and pain in your joints? That is a no-no.
Okay.
All right. So sometimes people ignore this and then they just continue to train. So pain is a signal that your body is telling you that something is not right. Now recently I met one guy, he's strong, fit, but he has elbow tendonitis, which is inside his elbow here. And then he couldn't just bend his elbow, he will still feel pain. And then he wanted to do his pull-up, he can't do it at all because of the pain.
Yeah.
Then it's like, he has spent many hours trying to build these muscles and do the pull-up. Now he has elbow pain.
Now he can't even do it.
Then it's like the question is that why are you training so hard to reach this day when you can't even do your pull-up?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the thing about this no pain, no gain. I think, yes, exercising is hard work, sweat, and all that, but you must remember that when you have discomfort or pain in your joint, you have to stop and then you have to find out what is wrong or change your training program.
Yeah. Listen to your body is the message. So do you have any key messages that you want to leave our audience with?
The most important thing I feel that is you have to remain mobile, be mobile. That's the key to the way you feel about your life, as well as looking good. It cannot be just one aspect of it. And I believe it's achievable because we have seen how the gymnasts do it. It's just being smart about the training and also investing in yourself. I hear very often people say they have no time.
Yes. In Singapore, it's like a common phrase. I have no time to go to the gym. I have no time to work out because I'm always busy with work.
Yes.
Yes.
And what I'm saying to them is that if you want to change how you feel with your life, especially when you grow older, it's best that we look after ourselves early on, and we can age very gracefully without pain.
That's such a nice thing to say. But she actually has a really great point, because a lot of youngsters right now, we're all caught up in our own worlds and we don't really think ahead in the future. And it's really important that we keep it. We do what we can for our bodies now, so that, like what you said, we don't pay the price later on.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for a great first episode with Wellness Insider. Hope to see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
So now again, short foot is the exercise that's foot activation. Okay, so you want to think about this as an exercise that's waking up your feet. Okay, right? Remember, we can't take off our shoes. So what we're going to do